time is 10 o'clock p.m. The date today is the 11th of May 2020, Monday. For the health mask, this is an update on the health mask. I want to tell you so far, roughly, what I have done to make sure that this applies, everything applies. These things I'm about to tell you, these are some of the skills and qualities that Africans and African children lack. Only the ones who get the best of education get it. But these are qualities that education doesn't need to give you. These are qualities that you can acquire yourself. So, the health mask. What makes my mask for COVID-19 or for any virus more beneficial to you than the normal face masks that you've been wearing now? Well, get this. I had to do my first research. My first research was to find, something that we can use, not to cure COVID-19, which seems to be everyone's aim, to find a vaccine because there's money in vaccines. But the problem is, we all know the secret already. The secret is prevention is better than cure. So, whilst we're searching for the vaccine, we should be aggressively using all the preventative measures that we can use to prevent it from spreading. So, our priority should have actually been prevention. Because the thing is here. That's what we're told. The virus is here. We're told that. So once something that's a virus is here, you need to fight it. Yes, you need to find a vaccine for it, the right vaccine. But whilst you're looking for the vaccine, you need to be protected. So I looked through scientific research to find an enzyme that will protect against viruses, that will prevent viruses. And I had to create a few headings that I had to work against. I had to look at what a virus is. Once I discovered what a virus, I had to answer what makes viruses thrive. And then I discovered is their living conditions. So what living conditions make viruses thrive? Then I have to ask, what conditions can viruses not thrive in? And I realized that viruses need somewhere warm, somewhere moist to help them incubate and to also stay alive. That's why they say a virus incubation period could be anything from an hour to a day, from 2 days to 14 days for coronavirus, if given the right conditions. So then I thought, what does this mean? That means, if you put a rag on your face and call it a face mask, that's just what it is. A rag on your face and a face mask. Yes, it stops the virus, but it provides the conditions that actually help the virus to breathe and incubate until you later touch your face mask and digest it. So I discovered that to prevent, we needed to find something that we can coat our face mask in, or something that we can add to our face mask to add a double layer of protection and prevention and safety to our fight against the virus. Being who I am, I first looked into nature Because in healing, in the game of healing, or in the game of prevention, if you're healing somebody with nature, there are no adverse reactions. When you're healing with somebody with chemicals given to you by man, there are adverse reactions. So my option is to always look into nature first. And I discovered that salt is a virus killer. It dehydrates the surface of anything. Viruses cannot stay alive, incubate, or hibernate on salty surfaces. And I said to myself, then in that case, we need to create salt slides to add to the fabric, to the integrity. So we're creating a shield. A shield. So we've gone through all that. Now we are at the testing stage. So I'm going to take you through the testing stage. What makes this a health mask is simple. It's the salt slides that we're going to add, which scientifically has been proven to be a defense against viruses. But we have to design it, and we have to test our design. So first I have to decide, this is going to be something that goes around the human's face. So it needs to stay away from poisons. And artificial chemicals. So I decided, I'm going to use, to make the cards, the slides, a material that's hard. So I got the tailor's material that is normally used anyway to make face masks, which is the hard liner to line it. I put it on top of itself to make it thicker, and then I pressed it together. And then I cut two different shapes to make two different tests. First I grabbed the salt. It has to be natural salt, not processed, man-made chemical salt, natural salt. I took a bowl, I took a piece of water, I took some water, I put it in a bowl, I infused the bowl with water. I cut a few shapes of cotton lining. I dipped them in there. That was the first test. I left it for a few days. I noticed that the cotton had soaked up the salt, yeah, and it crystallized on it. But I noticed it wasn't efficient. So I did another test. This time I pressed the hard line together, cut it into little shapes, and I thought I need to apply glue and then apply the salt over the glue. But I needed a glue that is safe for human consumption. So again, before I decided on what glue, because I know I needed a glue, I first looked into nature. And I remembered in my youth, when I was young and I was growing up in Ghana, we had to cover the backs of our books. We had to cover the backs of our books. And we learned a way to do it. And it was chemistry. We had to use chemistry to make our own glue. So we got a root vegetable called banchin. In English, cassava. Cassava, believe it or not, contains ricin, the most poisonous poison that you can introduce into the human body. So if you eat cassava raw, too much, you will be found to contain high levels of ricin. But if you boil it, you evaporate it, you get rid of it. But get this, coming back to it, in my youth, we would get cassava, mush it, and then strain it and get the pure milky liquid out, and then put it on slow heat and stir and stir and stir and stir and stir until it became a nice fine see-through glassy looking glue. And then we will apply it to the backs of our books and then apply newspapers. So you will find newspaper coverings, our favorite topics, our favorite headlines. Do you see what I mean? So I thought, since it's edible and since it's glue, let me try this option first. So yesterday I got the cassava out. I went and bought some cassava. I put it in the blender, added water, put it through the sieve, put it through the cotton mesh, got the finest bit out, and I made cassava glue. I got the bits out, I dipped them into the cassava glue, and then I had what Ghanaians called apotoria, mortar and paste, which I used to grind the salt into a fine powder, but it wasn't fine enough. I dipped the glue bits into it, and it took time, it was never dry. So the second test, I figured the glue was applied too much. There was too much application. So in the afternoon, me and my boy Andy, we quickly ran off to the warehouse shop, and then we got ourselves paintbrushes and a roller. So tomorrow we're going to get a proper mortar and paste, a stone one that can give us a salty consistency that is almost like talcum powder. And then we're going to toast the salt on heat to dry the salt and take out the moisture in the salt. But we're not doing anything to the salt. It's still salt. This will make it really powdery consistency. And then the first test, we apply with a light coat with a paintbrush. One in one direction, one in the other direction, one in both directions. And then we will lightly dip into the salt and dry. And do that for all the styles. And then we'll get the roller and use that to do more. And then we will wait and see which one dries fastest and which one holds best. And then we'll see which method we're going to use for application of salt slides. So tomorrow we're going to test that. Once we have found out which method is the best, then we will start cutting the shapes, because all our face masks have little pockets which you will insert this salt slides, which gives you extra preventative measures that actually neutralizes and kills any virus, and not just gives the virus a place to hibernate and wait. So we're doing this test, and then afterwards I have booked an appointment, or I'm trying to book an appointment with Ghana Standards Authority to actually test, because scientific data proves I'm right. Acknowledge our language, enchip ne, that's what we call salt. Enchip means it doesn't catch. Ne means ni, as in the human. When it's on your plate because you eat it, you take out one eye. You understand what I'm saying? It's like Adria ne. When it's on your plate, it's Adria ne. When it's breathing and it has life, it's Adria ni, baby ni, bro ni. Do you see what I mean? But there's the name of salt, they say, it doesn't catch me, it won't catch me and chip me. You understand what I'm saying? But putting that one aside there for a minute, yeah, because you don't really know what I'm talking about with that. Scientific research, scientific data, which I've provided in the report, which will be carried, yeah. So this is the information that will come along with each health mask. One, there's a report that directs you as to what this is all about. It gives you references to the research that has been done in conjunction with salt and its virus fighting qualities by top researchers and top universities and top professors. So this is not my word. And then my word is that I can, by experience, vouch that you see salt, it is good because see, when you're cut, say tetanus, for example, yeah, you step on a nail or you or you cut yourself with a dirty thing, and if there's nothing else there, yeah, listen, your best option is to get really salty water and put it on the wound. It will hurt you, it will bite you, but soon it will cut the bleeding soon, and it will eliminate any virus that's in that area. You understand what I'm saying? So attached with that, we're doing a test. The test will consist of this. Someone will wear a normal face mask one day, 24 hours. The same person will wear our face mask 24 hours the next day. They will test both of them, yeah? They will leave them in conditions that germinate and conditions that viruses growing. So one has the soul patch in there, one doesn't. And they're there. They've been worn for 24 hours each. And now we're waiting to see which one gives you better protection and better prevention against any virus, and which one is a true health mask, the true evolution of face masks. But watch this. After this test is done, we're going to the Food and Drugs Authority, because get this, salt is edible, and in the Food and Drugs Authority laws, salt is under the same laws as chlorine. Remember, President Trump wants to cure COVID-19 virus with chlorine, but all he's done, he has chosen to use the chemical, for prevention, he has chosen to use chlorine. But all he's done is he has chosen to use chemical produced by the human. And all I'm doing is choosing to use the same chemical. Salt is in the same family. Therefore, the laws that regulate chlorine is the same laws that regulate salt. Do you see what I mean? So, he's chosen to use chlorine, which although will eliminate the virus, is still dangerous for the human. I'm choosing to use salt, which although would eliminate the virus, it will taste nice to the human if the human accidentally touches it and tastes it. It will just be salty in it, and it won't have any adverse effects. So once we get FDA approval, that's the next step. Once we get the FDA approval, then the aim now is to tell the people of the world, listen very carefully to this. Why are your governments spending so much, on rags? Why haven't all the scientists, all the top churches, all the preachers, all the things, thought, although we're looking for a vaccine, we should quickly develop methods for prevention that would actually stop the virus from spreading? And why haven't they thought to use the safest method that so far we have paid taxes and money for them to research, so we have the research is there. Why haven't they chosen to remember that and used it? and then you can demand for your governments to grab them. Because get this, with the salt patch, it means if you have it, even your own saliva coming out would not stay alive. Are you understanding? Would not stay alive. It means when they come out into your pad, they will be eliminated. So I was telling you about the thing. So you're going to have all that information in there. Secondly, we all know viruses attack the immune system. So you're going to have a list of immune boosting foods. Not only that, also, listen, it is very important right now how we use our 24 hours each day. Because to boost your immune system, people do not understand. The word actually means your inside system. Your outside system, you're able to go to the gym and train it. Your immune system, you can't go to the gym and train that. You have to train it internally. Your immune system is about the intake of foods, the intake of water, the intake of air, the intake of sun, the combination of this four. That's what your immune system is about. So I'll give you a timetable called the ORA time key, which you can read for yourself. And if you see sense in what I'm saying, then follow the time of the ancient accounts, because it's directly related to your health, to your well-being. All these information will be in along with your health mask. Why? I told a friend the other day, she said, why don't we just make simple health masks and put them in the shop and sell them? And this man, I don't want to be part of the problem. You don't seem to understand. I don't want to make face masks. If I wanted to make face masks, when everyone else started making face masks, I would have started making face masks because it was about money. Everyone saw an opportunity to make money, but they didn't care about the possible implications that they haven't thought and they haven't researched enough, and even their environment within which they create their face mask may not be hygienic enough. It was about money, and I said I don't want to be part of the problem. That's why I've taken my time. The conditions under which I create, all these salt pads, is hygienic. The conditions under which we create the health masks are hygienic. Before we package them, we sanitize them in a dry salt room, which we know viruses can't survive in. Each package, each item will be individually wrapped. There will be single wrapped packages everywhere. Why? Because everything will be wrapped in a salt layered or salt infused cotton based. And you can use these salt rags to wipe your hands each time you want to touch your mask. Because as long as you have salt on your hand, no virus can touch you. So we'll give you little rags. It's very easy how you wash these things, these little rags. You just wash them and infuse them and dry them. And then you carry your friends on them. For the salt pads and the salt slides, they're very cheap. We'll be making a lot of them, same shapes. Each one will come with 7 packs. If you have 2 pockets, it will come with 240, one for each pocket. Simple as that. And all of a sudden, you have not just a rag on your face, you have a defense wall built of salt. scientifically approved, FDA approved, invented and packaged in Ghana, Virginia, man. Only God. Why? Because life is precious. And whilst life is being attacked, defense is the first line of attack. You have to defend first in order for you to attack. So we defend, and then the salt neutralizes, attacks, and kills. And kills. But you have to follow steps. If you care, you have to do things right. If you care. So, the plan tomorrow, paintbrush and rollers. Let's go.
Na grace we nyanko pono oyo nyame Parinos Handala bahota Imala tela basantela bantoro bam pam pam pim pim bem China and yo nyame Chai and yo nyam Sisi yo nyamaka Grace in your company.